build a playhouse for children. It's something you can build in the workshop and then take it and set it out in the yard. In a moment, we'll take a visit to a playhouse being used by some children. Then we'll come back here and build our version right here in the New Yankee Workshop.
The New Yankee Workshop features the craftsmanship of Norm Abram.
It turns out that finding good examples of children's playhouses was not an easy thing to do. We were just about to give up when we heard about this one. It was actually constructed by Mennonite craftsmen somewhere in the Midwest and then delivered to this site. It's a nice size, about 10 feet deep and 8 feet wide, a wood shingle roof, novelty siding. This is kind of unusual, an arched window, including the shutters. Some window boxes, a Dutch door with a Z-brace detail. They even went through the trouble to put a screen door on. Now inside it's quite nice. Pickled pine and a set of bunk beds. I understand that the children actually sleep out here in the summer. I don't know if we'll go to quite this much detail. This is going to be fun to build. I've designed our playhouse on paper. Those plans, including the materials list, will be available, and you'll hear more about that before this program ends. Before we get started, I want to take a moment to talk about shop safety. Be sure to read, understand, and follow all the safety rules that come with your power tools. Knowing how to use your power tools properly will greatly reduce the risk of personal injury. And remember this, there is no more important safety rule than to wear these safety glasses. We're going to get started with the largest element of the playhouse, the floor platform. The frame is made from 2x6 pressure-treated lumber. The inside of the playhouse will be covered with plywood, and the porch will get square-edge fir. The first thing I want to do is cut the floor joist. These two 8-foot pieces make the rim joist. Well, now let's nail it together. The joists are on 2-foot centers. This line is for a row of blocks that will support the front wall of the playhouse. This row of blocks will support the joint in the plywood floor. Notice that they're only 2x4s. For the floor, I'm using some 1/2-inch CDX plywood. I'm going to nail it in place with some 6-penny ring shank galvanized nails because they really hold. Now you can see how those blocks are going to support the edges of the plywood. The front porch floor will be this square edge fir, and I'll nail it in place with some 6-penny galvanized finish nails. This floor platform is a great place to lay out and pre-fit all the pieces for the walls. This is one of the gable end walls. The cuts down at the eave here are simple 45-degree angles, as well as the cut at the peak and at the tops of the studs. This large opening is the main window. This small opening is for an attic window, even though we really don't have an attic floor. Now all I have to do is nail it up. Before I remove the frame from the platform, I want to side it. So I've tacked it in place so it can't move around, and I'm applying our choice of siding, which is this 1x6 tongue and groove red cedar. I'll nail it in place by putting a 6-penny finish nail right in the tongue area. This way most of the nails will not show. I'm trimming off the excess cedar using a flush trimming bit. Okay, let's build another one. The back wall has no windows in it, so we can go right ahead and side it. That's all the walls I want to build on the floor platform. We'll move both of them aside.
Transform your garden from wild to wonderful with HGTV's Landscape Smart. Ken Bastida demonstrates how to spend less time and money to get the same results as the pros. Turn your backyard into a showplace with HGTV's Landscape Smart. Premieres tonight at 8 on HGTV.
Jack! Where'd you put the lawn? Me? Me?
Tired of mowing the lawn?
I do something that twisted?
Lowe's knows how to help. Lowe's is the only home improvement warehouse to carry the new toy-built lawn tractor.
With pedal drive transmission, fast attached accessories, and new lower prices. Toy-built lawn tractors make mowing the lawn a real pleasure.
Jack! That's the third time you've mowed it today!
When it comes to lawn and garden, Lowe's knows.
Life's an adventure, especially on the open road. Buckle up with HGTV for Homes on the Road, the RV story. Meet the people who share a passion for the open road.
Home is where you park it.
See the latest incredible interior designs.
Here we've got a 400 square foot condominium on wheels.
Plus, travel through the history of RVs. Don't miss Homes on the Road, the RV story. Saturday at 5 Eastern on HGTV.
Well, good morning. I had some of my friends come over this morning before they went to work and help me set the platform out here on some concrete blocks. It's more or less level. It'll give us a place to assemble the rest of the playhouse. The next thing I want to do is build the front wall. But since it's bigger than the plywood platform, I'm going to build it on the shop floor. Nothing fancy about the cuts on this wall. They're all 90s. Got enough of this wall nailed together that I can show you the layout. This is the bottom of the wall. This large, tall opening is for the door. Over here, there's a large window. And up at the top, there's going to be a little bit of a dormer, and this will form one of the dormer windows. There'll be another one over here. Let me show you how that was made. I have some 3/4-inch blocks that space the header 2x4 down to form the top of the opening. And at the bottom, I've nailed two pieces together in the shape of an L, which forms the bottom of the window opening and gives me this flat block, which will be a backer where the porch roof slope will meet it. Well, now I think it's time to set the four walls on the deck and attach everything with screws. I'm using screws because I want to be able to take it apart later. All right, let's get the back wall. So that I can prefabricate the roof panels in the shop, I've made some samples of the various pieces. It's going to be a plate that goes on top of the wall we already built. The rafter will have a notch at the bottom, which fits over that. And at the top, I have a double angle piece. One angle will sit on top of the wall, and the other one matches the pitch of the roof, and that'll act as a ridge beam. Now that they fit okay, I can use them as patterns to cut the rest of the pieces. The ridge is first, and I'll cut it from this piece of 2x8, making 45-degree angle cuts. Here's where the pattern comes in. I can use it to set the saw fence. Let's start cutting the rafters. First, the ridge cut at 45 degrees. Now, at the other end of the rafter, I'm going to make the cut with a circular saw and finish it with a hand saw. Around here, it's called a crow's foot. Okay, that's 13. We'll start by building the rear roof first. Here on the sawhorses, I've set up the ridge pole and the bottom plate. I've nailed together two of the rafters that I just cut to go right on the end. What I want to do is bring them up so the top of the rafter and the top of the ridge are flush, then I can nail them together. The roof sheathing is 1/2-inch CDX plywood, and I'll attach it with 1.5-inch staples.
This is unfamiliar territory for most luxury SUVs, but this is the GMC Envoy. A welcome face for those who understand our commitment to nothing but trucks. But also a luxury SUV with indulgent comfort that coddles the senses and recalibrates your notions of what a luxury SUV could be. The Envoy by GMC.
Every day, more people are choosing Lowe's, and here's why.
No one else sells more of what you need to get your lawn and garden in shape.
If your yard's this big, Lowe's has this. This big?
Lowe's has this.
Boss trimmers, pressure washers, and Lowe's is the only home improvement warehouse to carry Joy Bill.
All at everyday low prices, guaranteed.
Got questions? Experts like me are in every store. When it comes to home improvement,
Lowe's knows.
The secret's out. Do you know what's in most air fresheners? Look at this. Air freshener cover-ups are water, a lot of gas, and a little perfume. No wonder they don't work. But now, There's Citrus Magic Odor Eliminator. It's made with 100% citrus that dissolves odors. In the bathroom, the litter box, the kitchen, anywhere, leaving behind only a fresh citrus scent. Citrus Magic. The secret's out.
Is this possible?
He came to the door to mow lawns.
After 9 years,
The fingerprints match.
her son is home.
He doesn't know who we are. He doesn't remember us.
But a house isn't a home
I don't see why I have to live here.
unless the people inside
We've been doing fine without you. I don't think you have been, Vincent.
are a family.
All I want is for us to be happy.
You'll let me do what I have to do.
Michelle Pfeiffer, The Deep End of the Ocean, rated PG-13, opens everywhere March 12th.
Home, where daytime dynamos become sleeping angels at night, where a flop-eared dog becomes part of the family, where horseshoes are tossed in one corner of the yard and the garden grows in another, where a sprinkler can provide pure pleasure for laughing children on a sunny day. Your home deserves the best. Pen-coated lawn seed from Pennington. A lifetime of experience goes into every beautiful lawn.
We have two different command accounts because our investment strategies are slightly different.
I'm more aggressive. I like to take long shots.
I'm a bit more conservative. So we can compare at the end of each month when we get our command account statement, and then we can argue and fight about it.
Disagree.
We demand service. We demand quality.
I wouldn't say we're demanding about that. For heaven's sake, that's not demanding service. We just expect it.
This is not a commercial. It's a sitcom.
You'll notice that on each side of the dormer wall, I'm going to need a little section of roof. It's only 12 inches wide. That's what I'm building next. Well, once again, saved by the help of a neighbor with a night job. This panel is a little bit too much for one person to handle. Great. Thanks a lot, Hugh. No nails, just screws. I want to be able to take this apart later. And here's how the little roof goes on. I've just spent a few minutes cutting a test rafter for the shed dormer roof. And if it fits okay, I'll be able to use it as my pattern. That looks good. First, I'll cut the ridge. The angle is 22.5 degrees. This piece of 2x4 will also be ripped at a 22.5 degree angle, and that piece will tie the lower end of the rafters together. Just as with the other roof sections, the end rafter will be a double rafter. But on this roof, the outer rafter has to be cut to conform to the pitch of that small roof that I've already installed. The posts that support the porch roof are next, and they fit into the corner of the deck frame. They have to be notched. Let me show you how I did that. To do the layout, I'm just using my combination square, set it 1.5 inches. And once all the marks are made, just want to mark the material to be removed, which in this case is this area. And I'll do it with my circular saw. Okay, that's that. And that takes care of the middle post. As you can see, this porch roof is very similar to the shed roof above, in that the pitch is exactly the same. Well, that's done. Okay. See, this fits. Pretty good. I'll fasten this in place with some screws, and then I can think about the trim, but we're losing light, so that can wait till tomorrow.
Order a home video of the project you've just seen Norm build, complete with a measure drawing and materials list. Call toll-free 1-800-892-0110. The price is $24.95 plus shipping and handling. Get the measure drawing alone for only $10. The number again is 1-800-892-0110.
Transitions lenses lately. Indoors, the changing tint is clearer. Outdoors, they're the darkest Transitions lenses ever. For all-day comfort and convenience, Transitions lenses, right in any light.
I'll be seeing you.
Visit our website or call 1-877-4-TRANSITIONS.
Remember the time we almost screened in the porch?
With ScreenTight's porch screening system, you can install, repair, or replace your screen in 3 easy steps. Attach the base strip to your wood framing. Roll the spline into the groove to secure the screen. Then simply snap on the cap.
Do you remember the time we almost...
ScreenTight porch screening system. There's no better way to screen or rescreen your porch.
There are 7 million kids in this country who wet the bed, often because their bladders haven't grown as quickly as the rest of their bodies. One product can help. That protects, yet looks and feels like real underwear. It's helping a lot of kids feel better about themselves. Good nights mean good mornings.
With 1010 ATT00, you get a whole new level of directory assistance. For example, say you need a forklift. Specially trained, smart people can help you find any number in America.
Local?
And long distance.
What if I can't remember a name?
You don't need the exact name, you don't need the area code. Just dial 1010-ATT-00.
What if I can't remember my name?
Then your new name will be Steve.
1010-ATT-00. For directory assistance, it's the only number you need to know.
Steve is good.
These are Cobalt tools, the finest mechanics tools you can buy in any store. They've got contoured handles for a better grip. And the K-drive that grabs fasteners on the sides, not the corners, which means more torque, less rounding, and less slippage. So Cobalt tools can stand up to anything. From where I'm standing, that's a very good thing. Cobalt, setting the standard in mechanics tools. Made in the USA and guaranteed forever. At Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse and online.
Well, I've been moving right along on the trim this morning, but I wanted to take some time to show you the various elements. Here underneath the porch is a piece of 1x6 that I've mitered on both the side and front piece to cover up the pressure-treated lumber. That just gets attached with some screws. Now here at the corners of the playhouse where the siding meets, I want to cover this over with what's known as a corner board. It started out as a piece of 1x6. I ripped one strip 3 inches wide and one strip 2 1/4 inches wide, fastened them with stainless steel nails at the corner so that I end up with a 3-inch by 3-inch corner. It slips in underneath the rake board and over the deck, and I'll attach that with some screws. Let me show you how I trimmed out the gable end. I have a 1x6 rake board, and down at the end, there's a plumb cut and a level cut. Up at the top where the 2 rake boards meet, they're cut at a 45-degree angle. Down here where the roof pitch changes from one to another, this angle is just a tad over 11 degrees. And down at the bottom, once again, I'll have a plumb cut and a level cut. Now, there's one thing that I like to do is add another cleat, this one right here, a 1.5-inch cleat known as a shingle cleat. And what it does is it gives me an additional shadow line, so it's more for architectural interest than anything else. Along the front edge of the roof, to cover up the 2x4, I'm going to install a fascia board, which is a 4.5-inch wide piece of pine. And the important thing here is to make sure that the front edge of the board is in the same line as the pitch of the roof, right about like that. With that complete, I'm ready to start shingling the roof, and that'll be the subject of our next program, along with the fact that I'll trim out the door, make a nice little Dutch door, trim out the window, and make a nice balustrade to go around the porch. So until next time, I'm Norm Abram from the New Yankee Workshop.